Rolling?
Rolling.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Kodak. Today I want to share what's in my backpack, what I'm carrying on a Great Divide Trail through hike. And the mosquitoes are eating me alive. We're currently in Golden, BC, staying at a campground. We're roughly halfway through the through hike at this point and like 3 weeks into the trail. If you're wondering why my backpack here is so monstrous, it's because there's roughly 9 days of food in there. We really won't resupply again until we get to Jasper in, how far is it, like 300 kilometers or so. There is one resort in between, but it's really expensive there. And to mail anything is a $25 charge plus $25 to actually pick it up. So we're just gonna carry as much food as we can and just like supplement a little bit from that resort. All right, first things first, I am shooting a documentary out here, so I'm gonna pull out all the camera gear. I'll make a whole separate video on what we're actually carrying out here. So for now, we're just gonna pull it out and set it aside. And then we'll go back to the real camera. This is being filmed on the iPhone. But in case you're wondering, tripod, all the lenses in here. Got an iPad so that I can like organize all the footage because, you know, 2 months of footage all at once is overwhelming and I would need a whole lot of memory cards for that. And then got a little case to protect the camera in the event of like rain, anything else. Otherwise, it's carried on a PD capture clip on the shoulder strap. Back to the camera. So the backpack itself is a light AF curve 40 liter full suspension. So this one does have like a slight frame in it. I'll make a whole separate video on food. So first I'm gonna pull all the food out, chips and crackers. And most of this backpack is food. As I already mentioned, got a whole bag of just extra ramens that wouldn't fit in my actual food bag. Whole snack bag. Bag of trail mix and peanut M&Ms. And here's the main food bag. If it'll even come out now. And for the food bag itself, this is I think it's a light AF, just their like big food bag. I find it'll hold like 6-7 days of food, just depending on how like much food you pack, how much you need, how bulky the food is that you eat. All right, now we'll get into the main pack list here. Show you everything there. This is kind of like my electronic bag. Again, this is like pretty heavy since I am very electronic heavy. I've got an extra battery for the camera stored in a bag there. These are the charging cables. I've got everything pretty much run off a USB-C, and I love these Anchor Nano little charging blocks. These are like 18 or 20 watt. I think they're 20 watt PD ports, so they'll like quick charge your batteries, quick charge phones, tablets, all that kind of stuff. And you can see they're pretty tiny. I'm carrying 3 of them since I have like camera, phone, battery banks. Like I've got so much to charge out here. And then in this, I've got my like accessories, hard drives and extra ports for the iPad, SD cards, that kind of stuff. More charging cables. My 20,000 milliamp hour Anchor battery bank, and this is a USB-C and it will quick charge, so I think this battery will charge in like 6 hours. It's a little excessive, but considering I've got the iPad and a lot of electronics, I need the extra juice from that. And then I got an Apple Pencil for the iPad to help with the edits and get everything done. For cooking, I've got, I believe this is an MLD pot. Yeah, it is. It's an MLD titanium 950 milliliter pot. I'm not even sure that they still make this, but I love the shape of this kind of pot, this like wide pot. And with the 950, I can fit like a double ramen, or especially like just like a big ramen bomb or something. Like it'll hold a lot of food. I love that. Keep my big fuel can inside there. Out here, it's all long carries, so I'm just using the big fuel canisters. For the water filter, I'm using a Be-Free with a HydroPack 2-liter bladder. There's a ton of water out here, so capacity-wise, I don't need much. Usually I just have a 1-liter bottle, and I rarely even fill this. I also keep a 750 milliliter smart water bottle with the sport cap just right on my shoulder strap here. I like it because it balances the weight of the camera. So I got the smart water bottle here and the camera on a PD clip over here, so it balances the weight nice and makes this like easy to drink, easy accessible water. Got an emergency blanket. Ilsa is carrying our tent. We're using the Z-Packs duplex, and we had an issue with like there's a lot of like gravel sites out here. It's mostly you're camping on like established sites, and you can see now we're in a campground and it's all like kind of gravel and rocky. The other thing that's nice, since Ilsa is carrying the tent, I have an emergency blanket, so if we have any emergencies, like I do have like something as a shelter. And then it's also nice for like the wet days, we can use it as a sit pad or anything else, but mostly it just protects the bottom of the tent from like gravel and sharp rocks. For a rain jacket, I'm using the Outdoor Research Helium 2. This is my second one of these, and I've been using them for years and years now. I love these jackets. I think they work well, they're light, and I don't know, they just have a nice fit to them. Here's kind of like accessories. I've got an excessive amount of toilet paper, but I ran out, and it was just easy to grab like half a roll from the hotel that we stayed in last night. I've got a deuce of spades trowel to help dig cat holes. A headlamp, and this is the Petzl Tika with the battery. That's why I love these, because they have a rechargeable battery pack. I hate wasting batteries. It's nice being able to just recharge these. And that's my only thing that isn't USB-C. So yeah, and then I've got more camera stuff. There's a little rocket blower to clean the sensor, clean dust off the camera. I made a last minute shirt change before I came out here. I was gonna go short sleeves and then use sun sleeves on top of it, but I forgot to pull these out. So now the sun sleeves just protect my sunglasses and my regular glasses because I wear contacts. So they're just being carried. I don't feel like getting rid of them, and there's no hiker boxes out here. I carry a Rology, a cork ball to like roll out, especially with these heavy food carries. This thing is like a game changer to be able to like stretch and just roll out muscles, things like that, to keep you loose. For my stove, I've got the MSR Pocket Rocket 2. It's a little heavier than the Chinese cheap ones that a lot of people use, but those things scare me a little bit, and I find them not quite as effective for like the extra ounce that you carry with this. It works better, and I'm not quite as worried about this thing blowing up. I watched one of those Chinese ones blow up on the Appalachian Trail, so I'm willing to carry an extra ounce for like a more effective stove and one that I trust more. I carry a little tiny piece of sea sponge, a lot of it just for the contacts and stuff, but so I can like clean my hands and clean my face, stuff like that at the end of the night. And I mean, when they're dry, it doesn't actually weigh anything at all. I have an excessive amount of bags because I do have so many electronics and so many things I need to keep dry. I've got like these big, they're for like basting turkeys or something, for like crock pots. So I use like a couple of these. I have one for inside the pack as a pack liner to keep my sleeping bag in. And then this one I can use back here to like keep extra food or anything like that in, should I need it. If I have like extra food and I need to bear hang, I can like put it in one of these bags and then send it up the tree. That's also this one. And I need another bag too to like protect my fanny pack and use it as a waist cover on that. And then there's a couple extra Ziplocs and things like that in here because they're always handy to have. In this bag, this is like slightly extra clothing. So first thing, we'll get into this later, and maybe more detailed in a separate video, but this is like my like first aid kit / repair kit. So in this I've got like extra contacts, I've got like some Motrin, I've got a few gauze strips should we have any disasters out here. I've got Gorilla Tape, Motrin, extra O-rings for the Sawyer filters, a patch that I never sewed on my pack, some bandages. I've got a few different kind of tapes like the Gorilla Tape, Tenacious Tape. I've got patches for the sleeping bag, a needle and thread should anything break or clothes need to be sewn up, anything like that. But yeah, that can be a whole separate video because that's a whole lot in that little tiny bag. And then got a little buff for the super cold weather, wet weather out here, some gloves. We're gonna be hiking until like the end of September. will probably finish around September 22nd. So we might need those cold. Actually, we've already used gloves quite a bit out here. Got more camera gear, a mosquito head net, lens cleaning cloths for like cameras and for glasses. Got 50 foot of bear cord, 3mm just climbing accessory cord, a cap for the hydro pack. Sometimes those smart water things break and I just didn't have the heart to get rid of it, so I'm carrying it. A strap for my quilt. This like goes around and cinches up on the sleeping pad. And then here's my like glasses in the other sun sleeve. These are Enlightened Equipment wind pants. They're 7D and they are crazy light. Mostly I use these for mosquito protection, but they're also nice on those like cold, chilly evenings and stuff because these are my only shorts and I'm not carrying like rain pants or long pants, anything like that. And there's just a lens cap in there. As for trekking poles, we've got the Black Diamond Carbon Distance Z's. And there's a mosquito on my head. Okay. Pause filming. But yeah, for trekking poles, I've got the Black Diamond Distance Carbon Z's. They're 120 centimeters. For me, being like just about 6 foot, maybe just a hair over. They're slightly short, but they work pretty well. I've got, I don't know, probably 2,000 or more miles on these things now and been really loving them. I did have my first break on them. The little strap here broke off, so I gotta fix that. I actually forgot I'm supposed to do that in town here before we hike back out, but yeah, I really like these. They've been really good and they're super light. Got bear spray on the side here, just clipped to the webbing and super easy and fast to pull out should we need it. This entire hike is in grizzly country and we've seen a few of them out here, so that's definitely peace of mind and absolutely necessary out here on this trail. On the front of the pack, I just keep a bandana always tied on there, and then this is that like water bottle holder, just goes right there. And here's the PD clip for the camera to slot into when the weather's nice. When it's not nice, I just clip that other pack right to the sternum strap on here. On the front side of the pack here, got like just kind of toiletries really, so like toothbrush. This is almost gone, I'll probably finish that tonight, so I've got a new bottle of contact solution. Got sunscreen, earplugs for the hostels, and there's a lot of trains on this trail when you're staying in towns. Toothpaste, just a little bag to keep everything with an emergency packet of coffee, crucial. You got a coupling here, I use that to back flush the filter. Dental floss, I do actually flush my teeth every night while I'm out here. And then got some Body Glide for chafing. Now to the main stuff of the pack. I've got my Sky Goat hoodie. This thing has been like really fantastic. It has a hood on it and it's got a kangaroo pocket. It's warm and it dries really fast, so this thing has been really nice. And it doesn't weigh all that much. I didn't actually weigh it, but I would guess it's around like maybe 9 ounces. For my sleeping pad, I'm using the Neo Air, and this is the long, wide version, so I think it's 25 inches. And for me being tall, this is like one of the most comfortable things in my pack. It weighs exactly 1 pound, 16 ounces, and it's worth every single bit of it. I can actually like fully fit on it. I don't feel like I'm falling off it at night, and this thing has been like one of my favorite purchases in that pack. I bought that on the PCT last year when my other pad died. I've got just some pair of like, I think they're Patagonia. I got them at a thrift shop. They're falling apart. If you see my videos, you'll see all the holes and stuff in the legs, but they're nice. They work really well to keep me warm and dry. Warm and dry. They don't keep me dry, but they do keep me warm. I'm carrying 3 pairs of socks, one of which I'm wearing, and then I got 2 extra pair of Darn Toughs. I've got like a heavy pair that I sleep in, and then I'll use these on the last night into town. And since we are expecting it to get kind of cold out here in late September, that's why I've got 1 pair of like heavy socks. I've got my pillow, Ilsa thinks that I need to wash it. I'll let you guys decide. Should pillows be washed? This thing probably has 5,000 miles and like hundreds of nights on it.
Wash it.
It's pretty gross, but God, is it comfortable. Yeah, nice and comfortable. And last but not least is my quilt. For years I didn't use stuff sacks, but now, and on this pack especially, I switched over and started using it again. I find that with the pack there, it just gives a little more like rigidity to the base of the pack, so it doesn't have as much give here. I find it like fits better, it's a little more supportive, and also the stuff sack just keeps the quilt a little smaller. But yeah, so this is an enlightened quilt. This is an enlightened equipment quilt. It's a 20 degree, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's entirely 7D fabric. I think if I could do it again, I would do 10D, at least do 10D on the shell. But I've got a lot of nights on this thing. I've been using it. I think I've had this one now for a few years. It's my second EE quilt, and it's been holding up really well. You can see there's just like 1 or 2 patches on it, but for the most part, yeah, I've not had an issue with them. The first one I got was in like 2017. And back then, like if you read any of the early reviews, they definitely understuffed their quilts. So that one I had a lot of cold nights on. That was also a wide, which was just way too big for me. Even like I can still, this is a regular, but it's a long. And this one I can still like fully buckle around me. And the wide I just swam in. So it was so much extra space that it took a lot to heat it. So the long regular version has been like pretty ideal. And the 20 degree, I find that I'm like comfortable in this in just about any conditions. As soon as it starts to get like under freezing, I might get a little chill with it, but like I feel like, at least for me, if I'm not cold like at least a couple nights out there, then I'm overpacked. And yeah, I can always like sleep in my hoodie and sleep in all my clothes and stuff. So yeah, I've been really happy with it. And otherwise, the only other thing that's in here is one more bag. Like I said, I've got a lot of bags, and this is the one for like the quilt and everything like that. This pack is like fully seam tape, and it really is like pretty weatherproof. But if it's like sustained downpours for like days on end, like I don't care what pack you have, it's gonna get a little bit wet, and that's the reason for having that in there. Otherwise, that's the pack. That's what I'm carrying out here. If you stay tuned in November, I'll do like a full recap on how everything did, especially like going into the end of the season and the cold season here. I'll post a review of the Light AF backpack as well. I really like it, but I find that I'm packed a little too heavy for it. I was really hoping that with the frame on this, that it would handle heavier loads better. And I'm finding that really like once you get over like 30 pounds, like especially around that like 35 pound mark, that it just, everything gets put on the shoulders, and without having load lifters especially, you just really end up carrying everything here, and it can like almost slightly pull you back. So I don't think that's gonna be for most people, but for me, carrying like all the extra camera gear, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to just get a slightly better pack. Otherwise, I've been really happy with this thing and with the pockets and everything else on it. But yeah, that'll be a topic for another video. I hope this like helps you guys figure out your pack list, what you're gonna carry. And I think Ilsa's gonna film one of these too. So if you're looking for like a female perspective and what she's carrying, then watch for that one later. See ya. I'm tired.